Sir, the mic is muted, sir.
Okay, so let's me return back. So welcome to Introduction to Logic. So we will discuss about evaluating argument. So please open this slide in Google Classroom. Okay, so our goal is to evaluate whether the argument is valid or invalid. Okay, so this is what we discussed last meeting, last week, right? So an argument is an assertion that a given set of proposition, we have say n proposition, P1, P2 until Pn, we call this premises, will have a consequence into another proposition called Q. Okay, so the Q is the conclusion. So then the argument is denoted as P1, P2 until Pn, okay, with this kind of symbol. This kind of symbol represent the what? Implication, yeah? Or arrow. That is the same as arrow. That means P1, P2 until Pn implies Q. So this is the definition of argument. So argument always have premises, okay, and conclusion. So on itself, if you look at the form of the argument, is always if, premise, then conclusion. Okay. So how do we know that an argument is valid or not? Okay. If an argument is true, it is called valid. If it is false, it is called fallacy. Okay. I think you remember we discussed a lot of fallacy last time, right? Okay, so an argument is true if, okay, the argument P1 until Pn implies Q is true if Q is true, whenever the P1, P2 until Pn are true. Otherwise, the argument is false. Okay, so now if this is correct, okay, if the premises are true, then the conclusion will always be true also. Now, how to tell that this is a valid argument? Okay. One way is using this, what is called theorem of valid argument. Okay. Say you have an argument P1 until Pn premises implies Q. Okay. Then this argument is valid if and only if the proposition of that P1 until Pn implies Q is a tautology. What is tautology? That means tautology is a compound statement that is true regardless the truth value of the constituent simple statement. That means if you have a tautology, that means all possibilities are always true. Okay, so another way, which is easier, is to check this. Okay, so an argument is valid if and only if the conjunction of the premises implies the conclusion. What is this? So you have premise 1 is true, premise 2 is true, right? And until premise n is also true, then implies the conclusion is also true. So all of them must be true. Okay, so this procedure does not propose to question the credibility of the premise. It can be wrong, right? So now the validity of the argument can be checked using what is called truth table. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Evaluate the following argument. So I have two premises here. Q and P. Oh, so the first premise is Q implies P. Second premise is Q. The conclusion is P. Okay. Based on the procedure above, okay, what we will do? So we will combine the premises together. Okay, so the first premise is Q implies P. So I put in the parentheses. The second is Q. So and then premise 1 and premise 2, when you combine, you use and. Okay, and then the conclusion. So you put arrow there. The conclusion is P. Then you create a truth table here. Okay, so the truth table you create this. What is the first one? The first one is P, right? P is T, true, false, false. Q is truth, true, false. So this is the all possibilities of P and Q. And then the first premise, okay? The first premise is if Q, then P. So you calculate this, okay? And then you put all the premises together in this case. So if Q, then P and Q, okay? And then the third one is you put the whole argument together. So that you find the truth of the whole argument together. This is, you can see this is all P, meaning all true. So we reach the tautology. Okay, so to make it clear, can you do this in Excel, the truth table? Okay, open your Excel. Open your Excel. I will share my screen. All right. Then you have, what is this? P, Q. Okay. So what do you have? True, true, false, false, right? And then true, false. Okay, I have P and Q. Then you continue, huh? You continue with Q implies P. And then you continue again with Q implies P and what? Q. And then you continue again with P implies Q implies P. Okay, so what is the true value of this? Can you do it? You cannot do it, you ask question. Okay, if you can do it, that's good. Because we already discussed this last meeting. Hello?
How to do the Q implies P?
How to do Q implies P?
Yes, yes.
So if Q, then P, otherwise true. Again, this one, right? If Q, then P. So I will put if Q, then P. Otherwise, true. There. How about the second one? Again,
How to do otherwise? Is it just type otherwise?
this notation mean and.
And
Okay, this notation mean and. Okay, so that means you put and. What is that? The first part is Q implies P. You already did that, right? Second part is Q itself, so that. Correct? So
Sir, can you share screen?
I did not share screen yet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this one, if Q, then P. Otherwise, true. Can you see it? So Q is in C, right? P is in P. So, okay. You're supposed to get this. The second part is and. Okay, the last part is implies again. So if again. What is this? This is if the previous oops, if the previous column implies P, that one. Otherwise true. Okay, so you just copy this to all, then you get tautology here, right? All true. So that means this argument is valid. So share your screen so that I will know that you're actually doing it right. Really, yeah.
I don't know how to do it, sir. So if
Equal first. Equal if open
and then
Q, right? Q is in D.
okay,
Click
Q,
comma
yes,
P.
it shows like this.
Not check. You use arrow. You use arrow. Okay. Anyway, you can also use mouse to the C3, comma C3. Go to C3.
Should I type it? C3?
No, you click C3.
Oh, I think Billy, you have to use not comma but point on the top and comma.
Semicolon. You use semicolon.
What is semicolon?
Dot, comma.
Oh,
semicolon.
This.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. And then
And then
true. Again, semicolon again.
semicolon.
And then
True.
true.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
then
Uh,
just copy it down, okay? And then the same thing. That one is N.
let me try.
Okay. Equal N.
If n
Of course, this is N. This symbol means N.
and
Open your previous column, that is E.
this
Yeah. And then,
and this.
yes, close it.
What? Oh, wait.
Close parenthesis. Okay. Then copy it down. Enter. Then copy it down. Control C and then shift arrow down. Okay.
Oh, no.
Control C,
Shift or copy.
Control C first. Yeah, copy. Control C.
Control C.
Okay.
Shift.
And then shift arrow down. Control V. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then what is the next? That one implies, right? You copy that.
Control C.
Imply P.
Oh, wait. Oh.
P. Okay. Then what you will do? You already did the premises, so you use if again.
Oh, yeah.
Open parenthesis, one, comma, semicolon, P. No, P.
No. Okay.
P, right? P is in C.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then semicolon. Okay, close it. So copy down.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So you get true for all possible values. That is called tautology. Clear, yeah? So when you have all possible values, they are all true, then it is called tautology. Question? Is there any question?
So I still don't get
You still
the
don't
same
get it?
answer.
Okay, you share your screen if you don't get it. Share your screen.
Why is it false? What's wrong?
Okay, so your P and Q. Okay, that one. Okay, and then first thing first, what you will do? You are evaluating Q implies P. So how do you do that? No. Q implies P, not P implies Q, okay? So it refers, you do a, if D4, okay, semicolon, C4, correct, that one correct. So then copy down. Okay, next, N of I4 and Q. Q is D. Okay, that's correct also. And then what is that? That is the if J, then C. Okay, that's correct. So you get it. All total what's your rate?
Yes, I just reverse this one.
So you get everything?
Sir, can I share screen? I
Oh,
didn't.
please.
Okay. Wait, sir. This. I got this.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know actually. Like,
No, this is not correct also. So if Q, that means if what? C,
C3.
and then semicolon, you put semicolon, true.
Like
The
this, but
false is always true. Go enter.
I got value.
Hmm?
Yeah.
No, can I go up? Can you go up? Why
This.
you got value?
So the two I put at front following this logical test value if and value if false.
Yes. Maybe this is not true. So that's why. So you in the P you put the P must be true in column B and column C.
Wait.
That the column D is fine. Don't worry about it. That
So I put
true. Enter. There again true.
oh, okay.
That is should be a true. False. Okay. That one also false and false. That one true and false. Okay, you copy that. No, copy the true false.
This is correct, sir.
No.
Oh, it's so wrong.
Still wrong, you. Can I see the D3?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one is not correct. True. No. You know how to copy. If you want to copy, you go to the cell that you want to copy. Okay. So actually what you need to do is only the first row. The second row, third row, fourth row, you don't need to do anything. You delete the second row to the, yes. You actually delete everything here.
Oh, delete everything, sir.
Yes, there. Okay. Okay. So just make sure that that is correct in the first row only. So if C, then B, that is correct. And then in column E, what we have, that is N of D and C, correct. And then the column F, if E, then B, address true, correct. Okay, so then you copy the three of them, the three cells. No, you copy. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, you got it. Okay.
okay, sir.
Great.
It's okay, sir.
Now it's okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So, someone else? Alicia, Tamara, Joyce,
Oh,
Anthony?
I already get it, sir.
You got it. No problem. Right.
I also got it.
Very good. Very good. Anthony, no problem?
Me too, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the next practice so that you get familiar with this, okay? Where is that? Oh, the next practice is the same thing, okay? So evaluate, what is that? There. Evaluate the disjunctive syllogism. So this formula is called disjunctive syllogism. You have two premises. The first premise is P or Q. The second premise is not P. The conclusion is Q. Okay, you do it again, the same. Once you can do this, you can do the more difficult practice, okay? So you copy the truth table a while ago, okay? The P and Q, then you can do the next.
Finish, sir.
Go.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, you can see your screen. So
Is it correct?
correct, because you get all the tautology, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you have no difficulty at all. How about the others?
I don't know how to do it, sir.
You don't know how to do it. Okay, go. Share your screen. So first, what you will do? You will use or.
Or
And then semicolon. Yes, okay. And second one, close it.
close it.
Okay. No need to copy first. You go to the next column. Okay. Not P. Do you know how to do? Equal.
Not P.
Yeah, not.
Uh,
NOT.
oh, okay.
Then P. Where is P? There. Close it. Okay. And then what is this? N. Okay. So we call this no. N. A-N-D. N.
Oh. And
Okay. What? The column E and column F. Oh. Okay, close it. So we call this R, okay? Close it, enter. Okay, and then what you will do this? If.
this if, yeah.
Yeah. Open
If R,
and Q. Q is D.
Q.
Otherwise, true. Okay. Oh, now you copy that down. The whole row. You select everything. Yes, Control C, and then Shift arrow down. Control V. Oh, very good. You got it.
Thank you, sir.
So, how's it? Anyone else have difficulty? Kenneth, no problem. No problem. Anthony, still doing. Tamara,
No problem.
no problem. Joycelyn. Joyce, you have no problem, right?
No.
Matthew, still working on it?
Done, sir.
Done. How about Anthony? Done?
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Okay, good. So next one is a little bit harder, but before that, can you give me example of this disjunctive syllogism? Can you put P into one proposition or one sentence, Q into another sentence, and then state it in English? Can you give me example? This is invariable, right? So can you put it into English? So you put P equal, what is the statement? And then Q equal, what is the statement? Can you give example of this disjunctive syllogism? You know this is true, but we want to know the informal logic example. Anyone? Anyone can give example? Come on. My choice. You give example. What is P? What is Q? And then can you read it in English?
You mean in real life or?
Yeah. Any sentence of P, any sentence of Q. P equal something. Anything that you want to say. Anyone want to give example? Come on. Choice. You can do it. Everyone, I will ask you.
Any promise or any conclusion like that?
Any premise, any conclusion.
Or you're asking if P then Q or?
No, I'm asking you will use this form of disjunctive syllogism, but you assign P into one sentence, Q into another sentence. Can you create an example? Okay, that you assign P is a variable, into one sentence. The sentence must contain truth value. Q is another sentence that contains truth value. For example, P, today is Monday. Q, today is raining. Okay, so any example? Everyone prepare your example, okay? P and Q, and then try to do a disjunctive syllogism. You already did the truth value, okay, the truth table, but I want you to give example in real life. So you tell me what is your P, what is your Q, and then now you read the disjunctive syllogism.
Can I try?
Go.
So
P is,
P is I fell from my bed.
okay, you fell. Q,
Q, my body hurts.
your body. Okay. So then now you read the whole sentence, the whole argument, using disjunctive syllogism. Disjunctive syllogism in P or Q, not P implies Q. Using your sentence, wonderful. Come on.
P or Q.
You said a while ago. What is P?
I fell from my bed.
I fell from my bed. Okay. And then Q is
My body hurts.
my body hurt. Okay. So then you will say, I fell from my bed, or my body hurts. That is the first premise. The second premise is, I don't fall from my bed.
Oh,
Right? The conclusion is, my body hurt.
mm.
So is that true or not?
Uh, well, can you repeat the explanation?
Okay. You said P represent I fell from my bed,
Yeah.
right? Q represent my body hurt. Okay. Now I'm using disjunctive syllogism. So I will share screen with you the disjunctive syllogism, the one that you just did a while ago. Right? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. So in disjunctive syllogism, P or Q, right? So then you say, I fell from my bed, or my body hurt. That is the first premise. The second premise is, my body hurts. The implication is, oh, sorry. The second premise is, I did not fall from my bed. The conclusion is, my body hurts.
Can you repeat them, Mr.?
I should repeat again. Okay. His P is, I fell from my bed. Okay. And his Q is, my body hurt. Okay. And then the first premise is P or Q. How do you read that? You will read, I fell from my bed, or my body hurts. The second premise, not P. That means I did not fall from my bed. The conclusion is Q. Q is what? My body hurts. So sounds not correct because you think that this is not or but and. But if it is or, this is correct.
Oh, sir, may I turn off my camera for a while? There's someone in front of my house.
Okay.
Sir, I still don't understand your explanation.
Okay, you give your example then. What is P and what is Q? Remember, P and Q must be or, not and.
I give example of P and Q.
Yes, you give example of P and Q. What is your and
P, you hit me.
You hit me.
And then Q, I'm angry.
I am angry. Okay. Then then you put, come back to the disjunctive syllogism, the one that you just make the truth value. Can you read it? P or Q, that is the first premise. So can you read it in English? You, what? Your P or Q?
You hit me or I angry.
Yes, either you hit me or I angry. Either you hit me or I am angry. So you like to get a hit, right? Or not and. Either you hit me or I am angry. That means you want to get hit. Okay, and then the second premise is not P. How do you put that in English?
You don't hit me.
Correct. You don't hit me. The conclusion is Q.
I angry, the conclusion.
Yes, I am angry. The conclusion. Because
Oh,
not am. Right? Either you hit me or I'm angry. So, can you give a, because your P and Q are related, so can you put not related at all? P and Q are not related, so that you will get a better understanding.
So I want to ask,
Okay, go.
P or Q, is it two possibility?
No,
Means two possibility? No,
two
it
sentences.
does.
P
It
and
doesn't
Q.
mean
Yes, it's not possibility. Is the two statement that has true value, truth value. The truth value can be correct or not correct, can be true or false. Again, you give me, Kenneth, can you give me your P and Q? Can you give me example of your P and Q? Come on. What is your P and what is your Q? Any statement. Any statement. Come on.
chocolate causes fat.
Hmm?
Chocolate causes
The cloth is red.
chocolate causing fat.
Hmm? Can you repeat?
Chocolate cause fat.
The clothes cause fat.
Chocolate.
The chocolate.
Yes, chocolate.
The chocolate is
Fat.
the
It's
chocolate
expired. Expired.
Okay, the chocolate is red. Okay, that is the first sentence. And Q.
P and Q doesn't relate, right?
It's not necessarily related. You can make it related or not. It's up to you, because this is or.
It causes by coloring.
It causes by. So you can do.
Food coloring.
The chocolate is red.
Yes.
The flower is blue.
It's okay.
It's okay. Why? It's not related, right?
Okay.
The chocolate is red, but the flower is blue. Okay, so that P and Q. So then you create a disjunctive syllogism. How do you read that? You will
It's either the chocolate is red or the flower is blue.
correct. It's either the chocolate is red or the flower is blue. And then second,
The chocolate is not red.
the chocolate is not red. Then the conclusion is,
The flower is blue.
yeah, see? You got it. Right. Okay. The example you gave a while ago doesn't make sense because actually the meaning should be and not or, right? That's why you said, why I cannot get it? Because the meaning must be or in that case. Hey, must be and, like Billy a while ago, right? And Felicia. So that is and, not or. Or is not related. Okay. Again, someone else give an example. This,
Sir,
yes, go.
I wanted to ask, so the variable R, so is it able for us to connect the P and Q as well? The variable R.
R.
Yeah, R.
R mean the which one is that?
P or Q and not P.
P and Q and
Or P or Q
okay, P or Q
and not P.
and not P. Yes. And not P. That is a disjunctive syllogism.
So we're able to make a sentence of it.
Okay, can you make a sentence? What is P and what is Q first?
P, I love chicken, and Q, I love chocolate.
I love chicken, and then Q, I love chocolate.
Yes.
Okay, so then you put them together in English. Either I love chicken or
I love chocolate and don't love chicken. Is it like that, sir?
no. You will say either I love chicken or I love chocolate.
Yes.
Okay, and then the second sentence is I don't
Oh,
love chicken. Right?
yeah.
Then if you don't love chicken, what is the conclusion?
I love chocolate.
Yes. That's Q,
Yeah.
right? Makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes, yes. Tamara, give example.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
P and Q, yeah.
Yes, P and Q, disjunctive syllogism.
It can be not related, right?
Of course.
Okay. P, I like to sleep.
I like to sleep. Okay.
And Q, today is Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. Okay. So then you will say,
I like to sleep.
Today is Tuesday.
Or
Okay.
today is Tuesday.
Yes. And then the second sentence is, I don't like it. Okay. Then the conclusion is today is Tuesday. It's become superstition. Anyone else did not have chance to talk? Anthony,
Yes.
give example.
Hmm?
Give example of disjunctive syllogism.
Okay. The lion is running,
The lion is running,
or the bird is flying,
or the bird is flying. And then
and then the lion is not running.
the lion is not running. Then
The bird is flying.
Yes. And then the bird is flying. Right? Either the lion is running or the bird is flying. So you must choose between the two of them, right? Either you are with me or you are against me, right? Then you are not with me. So the conclusion is you are against me. Right.
But isn't that fallacy?
Yeah, that's fallacy. But the form is correct. Right. The form is correct. Yeah. Why it is fallacy? You still remember, Kenneth?
Because the third option.
Yeah, there are the options. Okay. So the first one is incorrect. The first premise is false. Right? The first premise is false. But the form is correct. The form is valid. Okay. So you need to distinguish between the form and the meaning. So there are two ways to say the validity. Yeah? One is the form is valid. The second is the meaning is valid. So if the form is valid, we call this formal logic. The form is valid. If you talk about the meaning, we call this informal logic. Okay? Because you base it on the meaning rather than the form. Okay? So validity have two possibilities. One is based on the form, right, the structure that we can put it into numbers and formula like this. And the second one is based on the meaning. Okay. One that cannot say, oh, it's fallacy. Why? Because the meaning, there is third option that you did not put there in the first premise. Okay. Okay. So I have one practice for you. C, Introduction to Logic class is a good course. E, the course is easy. W, the course is worth taking. Now, this is the argument. Okay, the argument have three premises. C implies W, E or not W. Okay. The third premise is not E. And then the conclusion is not C. So you translate this argument into English and then check the validity of the argument using truth table. So first thing first, you check the truth table first. Oh, this is interesting because now you have three premises with three variables. Do I have the, oh, I don't have the answer for this. Come on. You can do it using Excel. Okay, let's do it together. So how are you going to do that? Now we have 3 instead of 2. So my first question was, how many possibilities? If you have 2, you have 4 possibilities, right? If you have 3, how many possibilities?
Is it 9, sir?
9. Why 9?
8, sir.
8.
8. Okay. You have 8 possibilities. Okay, so create in Excel. This is interesting. So you have G, you have E, you have W. Right? So what is the value of G? Either true or false, right? So I will put true, 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 and then I will put false, 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 okay? I have 8 possibilities, so I put 8 here. Then what is this? True, true, false, false. True, true, false, false. And then this one is true, false. These all possibilities. Mhm. So how to check the validity of this? The first premise first, okay? So you check the first premise. What? G implies W. Okay, this is P1. P2 is E or not W. P3 is not E. The conclusion is not G. And then what you will do, you will get the P1 and P2, right? So I call this R. Then what? R and P3, right? And then let's call this Q. And then what you will do, Q implies C. Okay, this must be tautology. This is the argument. Okay, so do it. Save this. Where should I save this? AI. What's our course? Okay. So this is evaluating academic. Okay, so the first one is G implies W. G implies W. Can I see the G and W? Can you go a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Can I see what is G and W? Go to the left a little bit.
This is? Oh, yes.
Okay, all
This
right.
is-
All right. So G implies W G is true, W, hey, I think something is not correct, right? Look, true and true, Y false in the third row.
Where, sir?
Here, in the third row, your G is true, right? And then your W is true. Why G implies W is false? Okay, let me check what is the, yes, A and B. Why A and B? No, right? G implies W. What is G? G is A, W is C.
Oh yes, yes, sir. I did wrong.
That one is not B, that's C. Okay. Okay, and then you copy down. Now, true, false, correct. True, false. Okay, that's correct. And then the second argument is E or not W. What is your formula there? Not C. Yes. E is B. Correct. Okay, that is correct. And then in P3, wait, P3 is not E. Not E. Okay, correct. And then yung conclusion is not G, correct. And then you get P1 N. Okay, so that one is P1, D and E, correct. And then next is R and B, that is H and F. F is P3, correct. And then the last one is if Q is your I, and then G is your conclusion. That's correct. Okay, then just copy it down. Yeah, you get tautology, right? Very good, Felicia. So can you read it in English then?
No, sir. I can.
Why?
Because I confused, sir.
You get confused. Which part you get confused?
I just know how the formula with Excel, but I don't know how to interpret it in English.
Okay. Okay, let us give a chance to others first. It's just, you just read it in exactly premise 1. For example, introduction to logic is a good course if, right? If G then W. If the introduction to logic is a good course, then the course is worth taking. That is P1, right? What is P2? Anyone want to read P2?
If the course is easy, the course is not worth taking.
Either the course is easy or
Oh, okay.
either the course is easy or it is not worth taking. Okay. So P3, premise 3, how do you say in English?
Course is not easy.
The course is not easy. What is the conclusion there? Not G.
Introduction to logic is not a good course.
Yes. Right. Why is it not a good course? Because it's not easy. Right. So this is so the course is worth taking, yes, probably, but it's not easy. Yeah, before the midterm, this is still easy. Okay, after the midterm, it's getting more and more mathematical. But don't worry, we'll use Excel, so I think you will have no problem. So, did you finish the truth table? Not yet? Okay, do it first. Felicia is very advanced in Excel. Excellent. Okay. Joyce, you want to show your Excel?
Mine. Okay.
Oh, you got also, yeah, excellent choice. Hmm. So the Excel had no problem, right? Yeah, you get all the true value, right? Tautology at the end.
Yes.
Yes. So I think that should be correct.
Okay.
Yes. So how about the others? Can you get the tautology? Yes, Tamara, you can get. Okay. So who did not finish yet? Okay, Billy?
No, I haven't finished.
You
I don't know, is it true or not? Can
Okay,
you?
you share your screen so that we can help you. So if I cannot help you, the others will help. Okay,
But I think it's wrong.
no problem.
So I put not W in here because so I cannot put something.
The first premise, can you see? Can I see the first premise? G
Yes.
G implies W. G implies W. Okay. J and L. J and okay. Okay, that's correct. Next. That's the second premise, right?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, what is that? The second premise is E
Oh.
not
Yeah. Yes.
correct. This is not correct.
I should put.
Or, so put the semicolon and then not. Okay, that is okay. Enter. So you put the, that one is, you just copy later. You only need to do the first row, okay? In Excel, you only need to do the first row. The others is just copy. And then P3. What is P3? P3 is not E. E is K. Okay, correct. And then the conclusion is not G. Not G. Okay, correct. And then how you will combine all the premises? Oh, one more column there.
Oh, okay.
Column R. Column R. So you will put N of P1, P2, P3. Can you do?
P1,
Okay, you just put P.
P.
Enter. And then equal N
equal and
Okay, open the parenthesis. So n of what? P1, P2, P3. Which one is P1, P2, P3?
this and this
And
and this. Hey, oh,
you
that
add-
and that
okay, yeah, and then that one.
and this.
Okay, close it. Okay, and then
Conclusion.
here is the argument. No, the conclusion you already did.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so now this argument, so you put argument. Okay, the argument is if what? If P, all the premises, column R1, yes, that one, comma, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is not G. Column P. Column P. Yes, and then true. Close it. Okay, now copy everything. That is, the argument is always true, right? So in using and, you can also combine the three of premises together, okay?
Okay.
Instead of just two.
I want to ask,
Go.
can I share screen?
Yes, please share your screen.
In here, before I mistakenly put n, but I still got the tautology.
Can be.
It can.
Yeah, it is possible. So,
Okay, thank you.
so it is possible, right? One of the, you can get tautology in different ways, not just one way. Okay. So then you need to check all the premises. Okay. This is what I mean last time, that if you want to check the argument is valid, then you need to get the tautology. Now you understand? Okay. So again, can you read this in English? Anyone who does not know how to read this in English? Can you read this in English? The three premises and the conclusion in English.
Sir, can I try?
Go, Matthew.
The introduction to logic, yes, sir.
If, the first premise is if.
Oh, okay. If introduction to logic is a good course, then the course is worth taking. Either the course is easy or the course is not worth taking. The course isn't easy, so introduction to logic is not a good course.
Yes, okay, very good. Right, so basically once you have the proposition, in this case G, E, and W, okay, you just read based on that argument form. Okay. So if you put not, then you, in the sentence you put not. Okay. So if it need implication, then you read as implication if then. Okay. Now you get it. Felicia, you can read already, right?
Yes, sir. I can
Okay.
read it.
Okay. Anyone still have difficulty in reading this in English? No. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's continue then. Okay, so in formal logic, okay, remember formal logic means based on the form, okay? The validity of an argument does not depend on the truth value or nor the content of the statement appearing in the argument, but upon the particular form of the argument. Okay? If the form is valid, okay, then the argument is valid. Okay? Or the premises really has the conclusion as the consequence. Okay, so in logic, we are interested only in whether the truth of the premises really entail the truth of the conclusion. Okay, so we completely disregard what is really the cases. Okay, as generalization of this is, if an argument or a sentence of a certain logical form is logically valid or true, then all the argument and sentence of the same logical form are valid and true respectively. That means you can, if you find a form, okay, that is valid, say you have an English example, and then you put that into the form of variables, and then you calculate the truth table, and then you get tautology. Okay, then that form is always valid for any other English sentence. Okay, meaning the P, Q, okay, or earlier the G here. Okay, this is the form. This is the form. Okay, P1, P2, P3, and C is the form. Now you can change the G, E, and W into any other proposition, into any other English statement. And then you read it, it will always valid. That's the meaning of generalization here. Okay, you got it? Okay, if the form is valid, okay, you can always generalize into any other sentence. Okay, let's take example. This is example of valid argument. Okay. All John's friends are my friend. P1, right? P2, all my friends are nice. Therefore, all John's friends are nice. Okay. You see that? The conclusion here follow the premises. Yeah? Now, if the premises are true, that all John's friends are my friend and all my friends are nice, then the conclusion must be true. Okay. The validity of argument depends on the form and the validity of the premises. If the premises are true, then the conclusion also true. Okay. Again, now here, none of John's friends are my friend. None of John's friends are nice. Therefore, none of my friends are nice. Okay, so this is invalid argument. Why? Okay. Because it is not certain that the conclusion will be true even if the premises were true. So the form in here is incorrect. So this is example of a logically invalid inference. Okay, my question to you. Can you put this into variables? Can you put this example into variables? Say P and Q. Can you find the form of this? So you can write in the whiteboard. None of John's friends are my friend. So how do you put that in a variable? So put it in the positive first, okay? So John's friend are, my friend is P. So the first premise is not P. How about the second premise?
Not Q.
Q, what is Q? What is the second premise?
John's friends are nice.
Yeah, John's friend are nice is Q. Okay? So the second argument is not
Not
Q.
Q.
Okay. And then what is this? None of my friends are nice. How do you make that?
Sir, is it if P1 then P2?
Yes, the first premise is if P, then Q. Right? If it is John's friend, then my friend. So this is later we will discuss this in the not proportional calculus, but we will discuss this in the quantifier. Okay, so the way we put the proposition using quantifier will be totally different from the proportional logic. So anyway. So none mean you will put it there exists. Okay, none of that. P is John's friend. Q is my friend. Right?
Q implies R, the conclusion.
John's friends are nice. That means another one. So P then R. R is nice.
Yes.
Yes.
So the conclusion is not Q, then R.
Okay. So this is the example of invalid inference if you put it into the form. Okay, this is another example here. Can you read? Can you see my screen?
No, sir.
No. Okay, this is all of Fred's friends go to Freeport High. Okay. All of Frida's friends go to Foreman High. So nobody goes to both Freeport and Foreman. So this is the third premise. Okay. Thus, Fred and Frida has no friend in common. Is that correct? Right. Correct, right? So all Alfred's friend go to the first school. Okay, all Frida's friend go in second school. Okay, nobody go into both school. Okay, so they have no friend in common. That is valid argument. So the validity of argument is totally independent of the factual truth of its premises and conclusion. Okay, based on the informal logic. Okay, so the factual truth of the premises and the conclusion is not a logical problem. So what makes an argument valid is depending on the form of the argument. If the premise of the argument happen to be true, then the conclusion must be true also. Okay. So look at this example. The premise is said, the owl and the fox are both birds. The conclusion, the owl is a bird. So this is a valid inference despite the fact that one of the premises is false. Okay, only its conclusion is true. Can you get it? The owl is bird. The fox is not bird, right? Okay, and the conclusion is the owl is a bird. So the inference is valid, but actually one of the premise is false.
So if the conclusion is false, then is it still valid?
No. Okay. If the conclusion is false here, this is the example that you are talking about. Say, here the conclusion is being false. If the moon is a piece of green cheese, everyone is happy. This is clearly wrong, right? The moon is a piece of green cheese. Okay. And the conclusion is everybody is happy. So this is valid inference, despite the fact that the premise are false, the conclusion is also probably being false. Can you see it? Okay, so if the moon is a piece of green cheese, everyone is happy. If P, then Q, right? If P, then Q. And then premise 2, what? What is premise 2? P,
P.
right? Then the conclusion is Q. So this is valid inference. Correct? The form is correct. So regardless the premise and the conclusion is not correct, so this is still valid. The inference is valid. The argument is probably false. Okay. The form is correct. Okay, another example here. All whales are mammal. Whales are fish. So the conclusion is false, right? And then the premise are true. Then it is valid or not valid? Yeah, it's not valid. Why? Why this is not valid?
Because the form is wrong.
Hmm?
Because the form is wrong.
No, you remember. Okay, I will put it.
Because there's no fish on the premise.
Mm. No. If P then Q. Okay, if premise then conclusion, right? So now my question is, the premise is true or false?
False. False.
All girls are mammals, correct you?
Oh, true. Okay.
Okay, and then the conclusion is whales are fish.
Oh, the conclusion should be the premise. No.
No.
Both premise. Both premise. No conclusion, I think.
No.
No
This,
relation. No relation.
but this is not correct. I will stop sharing and then I will show in the whiteboard. Okay, so your P then Q. What is P? Whale, mammal. Yeah, equal mammal, right? Q, whale, equal fish. Okay, but you remember this. This is the premise is true, right? The conclusion is false. So if P is true and the conclusion is false, the argument is true or false?
False.
False.
Yes. Now you got it? Why this is invalid? Because this argument itself is false, right? You remember the truth table a while ago? If P, then Q. If P is true and then F is false, what is the argument? True or false?
False.
Yes, false. So that's why this is invalid. You get it or not? Still confused? Tell me what you confused about. I can get the feedback. Otherwise, I'm still guessing what you confused about. Or what you get so that I will know.
So, sir. So it is wrong because fish are not mammals. Not all of the fish are mammals.
Okay. The premise is whale. What is the while ago? The premise is that all whales are mammal. True or false?
True.
True. The conclusion: whale are fish. True or false?
True.
False.
Oh yeah.
Right? So whale are fish is false. It's whale are mammal, not fish. Right? So now if you have a form P then C, okay? True then false. What is this? The argument is false. The whole argument. Okay. If you don't believe me, you make a truth table. Okay, I probably should make a truth table like this. P, C, right? And then P, then C.
Sir, you haven't screen share, sir.
Okay, I will screen share this. P is true, right? And then false, right? What is this? Either true, false, and copy. Right. So remember this? If P, then C, otherwise true. Right? Then your argument a while ago was this one, right? The one in yellow. Correct? P, all whales are mammal, true. C, whales are fish, false. Then the whole argument, if P then C is false. Got it, Billy? It's not because whale is fish or not, okay?
Okay.
Argument. Regardless the sentence, we put it into form.
So because there is no relation between premise and conclusion.
Because the premise is true and the conclusion is false.
Okay.
It's not regarding the relation. It's talking about when the premise is true and the conclusion is false, then the whole argument is false. Right. The one that you just did a while ago using truth table. Oh, starting to get hard. Okay, let's get another example. Okay, all human are mortal. Therefore, some human are mortal. This is correct or not? This is correct or not?
Correct, sir.
Right.
Okay, yeah. If all human are mortal, then some human are mortal. That's correct. Okay. How about this? All swine are white. Therefore, some swine are white.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So I give a note here. Okay. The argument above is valid despite the fact that there are black swine. So that means the premise is false. Right? So look at this. The premise is false. Okay. But the validity of the argument depending only the fact that the conclusion will have to be the case if the premise were true. Why? Because we are talking about if then here. Okay? If premise, then conclusion. Right? If all swine are white, then some swine are white. So what happened to the argument if the premise is false? What happened to the argument if the premise is false? There. Can you see it? Okay, this is the argument. This is the premise. This is the conclusion. What happened to the argument if the premise is false?
If the premise is false, the argument is still true.
Yes. If the argument If the premise is false, then the argument is always true. It's always. Why? Because regardless the conclusion, right? It is always true. So this is exactly this example of Waimaku. Correct? The swan example. So if all swan are white, okay, then some swan are white. The argument is true even if the premise is false. Got it? Question? How about this? This is Richard is an one-eye murderer. Then Richard is a murderer. True, valid argument or not?
What is one-eye murderer? What is one-eye murderer?
One-eye murderer mean he has only one eye.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true, right? So if Richard is one-eye murderer, then Richard is a murderer. It's true. Right? It's just a special case, right? But this is not valid. You know why? The structure is the same. Okay? If Richard is a supposed murderer, then Richard is a murderer. The structure is the same as before, okay? But the meaning is not the same. So this is the problem with the, if we talking about the form only. So the meaning make it invalid. If you just look at the form, it's valid, right? But when you take the meaning, it then become invalid. Yeah. So here it is. So there are actually several criteria, yeah, to check whether an argument is valid or not. Okay. Number one is all premises are true. Okay. And number two, the conclusion is at least probable, given the truth of the premises. Okay. So why we put at least probable? Okay. Next week we will discuss about inductive. Okay. In the inductive logic, okay, so you have certain probability that it is true or not. Okay. Number three, of course, the premise are relevant to the conclusion. Okay. If they are not relevant, that is fallacy. Okay. We discussed about premises that is not relevant to the conclusion last time during the fallacy. Remember, we have so many fallacy because of irrelevant. Okay. And fourth criteria is the conclusion is not vulnerable to the new evidence. Okay. Number three is to avoid relevant fallacy of relevance. If one of the premise are false, okay, it does not mean that the conclusion is false, right? So the argument, however, have no use to determine if it is true or false. Okay? Therefore, it is invalid argument. So criterion 2, okay, for next week, we will discuss about the inductive argument. And criterion 4, this is the one that I want to say here. Again, it's related to inductive argument, the topic of next week. Okay. Inductive argument can be either strengthened or weakened by the addition of new premises. Yeah. So if an argument is inductive, so all of its premises must contain all the known evidence that is relevant to the conclusion. Let's give example here. Okay, so some seeds are black. Premise 1. Premise 2, some seeds are white. Number 3, the conclusion is if something is a cat, then it is a cat. What is the problem here?
It doesn't
Yeah.
have any relation.
Yes, the premise has no relevance to the conclusion, right? So then this is not correct. Even if the form is correct, right? Then you start to think about the validity of this argument based on the meaning. Okay? So the meaning is clearly irrelevant. Okay. So first you check the form. Okay, if the form is correct, then you check the meaning. Now, if the form is incorrect, you don't need to check the meaning. Right? If the form is incorrect, then clearly it is incorrect. So that concludes what we have discussed today. Right. Is there any question? Is there any argument? So, okay, give me feedback. What did you learn today? Tamara.
Yes, I learned
You learned.
about truth table in the Excel.
Okay. What else from the truth table that you learned?
I learned the if then, not, and, or.
Okay. How about who want to say about what is your feedback today?
Evaluating if it is an argument or not.
No. Last week we identify argument or not. Today we discuss about validity of argument.
Yesterday we are evaluating about tautology of the
Okay.
argument.
So when you check whether the argument is valid or not in terms of the form, okay? In terms of the form, not the meaning. So you check if it is tautology or not. Okay? So even if it is valid in terms of the form, so you get the tautology, you still need to check the meaning. Okay. So whether it is relevant or not, right? And so okay, so until next week then. Thank you for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.